Hey, everybody, welcome to the Soccer Sharps, a soccer betting podcast. It's the second legs of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We've got 4 matches for you guys. We're going to break them all down, giving out all of our best bets. So stick around, baby. Here we go.
Martial, Herrera, Ibrahimovic! Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen on a football pitch. Balotelli, Aguero!
It was a pretty fun week of first legs last week, Jord. And we turn around for this one. We got some teams with some ground to make up, which could set up for some nice game states, for some comebacks. But what do you think about this upcoming week with these second legs?
Well, I think it'll be fun because they're all, I think you could argue, all still in the balance for the most part. There's nothing greater than a 2-goal lead, right? We got 2 2-goal leads and 2 1-goal leads. So, yeah, finally in the balance still. We don't have away goals to worry about anymore. So, yeah, should be exciting, as second legs often are, especially in uneven game states, Dev. You're right. The first legs were fun for the most part. Not fun for me in terms of my betting, but I'm actually going to run back a few of the same selections that I made in round 1 that were losers and hope that this week they're winners. They haven't scared me off enough. I'm going back to the well with some of these.
Well, the way some of these games played out, it was pretty infuriating that we didn't come home with some of those bets that we had last week. And I mean, I'm running one back at least because I think it was the right call. And a red card, a weird defensive choice by Slot, some things go a little bit differently. These games could have been wildly different. So still on fine margins. Who do you think is the most likely to turn it around here? Well, of the teams that are in a negative game state.
Barcelona, I think, are most likely, even though it's a 2-goal deficit.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue for us, George, because we can dive into our first matchup, and it is Atletico Madrid hosting Barcelona. This one sees Atleti as home dogs here of 3/4 of a goal. The total set at 3.5. Jordan, Atletico up 2-0 against Barcelona. The red card against Paul Cubarsí sent off, and then immediately a goal, free kick scored by Julian Alvarez, put Atletico ahead. And then Barcelona, actually, with 10 men, were able to control large stretches of the game, but didn't have enough. Musso, the goalie for Atletico, was quite good. And can he put in a similar performance here? Are we going to see terrorist ball from Atletico? Is Simeone going to turn back the clock here and just strap on his suicide vest and roll up to the Metropolitano? What do you think about this one, Jordan?
There's precedent for it, right? We've seen it actually in the very recent past when these teams faced off in Copa del Rey, right? Atleti had that 4-goal lead going into the second leg, and Simeone did play terrorist ball, just sat back, tried to absorb pressure, and almost completely blew them out of the tie, right? Because Barcelona were able to get 3. So that ended 4-3 on aggregate. Atleti survived, but I think Simeone knows that this current iteration of Atleti are not able to do that against a team of this quality, especially because now they have a 2-goal lead, not a 4-goal lead. So I would hope that going home here to the Metropolitano, he would not risk playing like that. He might. And if he does, I think that's a risk, because I think Barcelona believe that they can overturn this because, look, they've done it before. And they said, all right, we were down 4 goals to this very same team. We were able to get 3. Now we're only down 2. I think we can get 3 again, maybe more. So, yeah, I imagine they stay with 11 men throughout this game this time. And
you'd hope so for them, right?
Yeah, certainly would hope so.
You would think that the red card would have come from some sort of hatred of violence from the players because they're so familiar with each other, these two teams. But it was really just like a dog's O. It was kind of a freakish thing, right? Like the guy's leg came back. It was his trailing leg, and he hit him. But I'll let you keep going there, George. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it was a double whammy, if you will, because you get the man sent off. And then, well, it wasn't a penalty. It was a free kick on the edge of the box. And Alvarez tucks that home. Uh, Brutal stuff there for Barca. But yeah, I think they shake that off. They go again here. And because of that, Dev, I'm going to take them to win this. I don't know that they necessarily overturn the deficit and win by 2 clear goals to send it to extra time, but I think they can win the match. Atleti probably score in this at home. They are good offensively. We're not just going to say this is going to be a one-sided affair, despite what we saw in Copa del Rey. But I think Barcelona outscore Atleti in this leg specifically. So I'm going to take Barcelona on the money line. Really tempted by that Barcelona to advance at plus 250 just for the fun of it. But look, they can't advance if they don't win in the 90 minutes. So I'll be a little more pragmatic and take the money line in the 90 minutes at minus 125.
Yeah, I think you said it right that Barcelona won't ever see a deficit they don't think they can overcome, especially only 2 goals. And I think they'll just approach this game the exact same way. The question for me is, what will Simeone do? And will he just set up in that low block again and just try to defend? I mean, Barcelona dominated large portions of the match with only 10 men. I could see them doing that again here, but Atleti did rotate a lot on the weekend. They lost again in La Liga, which is just what they do. And but didn't play any of those attacking players that are Julian Alvarez, Lookman, Simeone. Those guys got a rest, got a rotation. Barcelona, a little bit of rotation as well, but they did win their match against crosstown rivals Espanyol. And in that one, scoring 4 goals. There was a 4-1 win. We know they have goals in their bag. You give the game state here, down 2. And I think you're right. Atleti probably scores at home. So I'm just going goals. This one I'm running back, Jordan. It's the same bet I made last week. Although I think last week I had both teams to score in over 3.5. But a red card is tough because it just kind of throws out the bet. You just kind of have to throw the game out because it's just fucked at that point. Sometimes if you have an over, it's okay. But if, a team like Atleti is on the road and they have a 2-goal lead and a man advantage, they're just going to sit and play defense. So a number of ways you could look at this. I looked at that Atleti team total over 1.5 plus 110. Looked decent to me. Just because they are at home and we know Barcelona is going to give up chances the way they play. But I was happy enough just to say, look, I know Barcelona is going to score this time. It would seem crazy for them to be blank twice in a row. So I went with that over 3.5 in the total, Jordan, minus 111.
I like it, Dev. I like it a lot.
Another way you could look at this would be, I looked at like corners and cards, but the numbers are huge. Like Barcelona's corner spread is minus 5.5. I think the game total corners is 10.5. And the card total was like 9, like something crazy, like 6.5. And you would think there'd be some cards. These teams know each other well, don't like each other. This is the 6th time they've played this year. So you could see some animosity there, but elected to just go with the goals.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
Well, let's move on, George, to our next matchup. This one also on Tuesday, and it's Liverpool hosting Paris Saint-Germain. This one is lined as a pick. Total is set at 3.25. And George, this one, Liverpool down 2-0. Could have been a lot worse at the Parc des Princes, if not for some luck, I guess you'd say. Some poor finishing, perhaps, from PSG. But they could have been 3 or 4 up easily in this tie. It is only 2. They're traveling back to Anfield. Crazier things have happened. What do you think about this one, George?
Well, Deb, I honestly, I think it's probably going to be more of the same. You talked about some profligate finishing there from PSG. Dembele specifically missing a couple of chances that you would expect him to put away, and he does most games. But the story for me really was on the Liverpool side of it. I think they had 1 shot on target across the entire 90 minutes and not many more shots, period. Now, I understand Slot set up in an unexpected way for that, right? They went with a back three of center backs with wing backs, which was effectively a back five, the way the game state played out, which was just Liverpool kind of parking the bus and hoping to counter, but not doing it very effectively, obviously, if you look at the shot counts. They won't play that way at Anfield, most likely. I don't expect to see that again. And we've seen some pretty famous European nights at Anfield. But I think my big takeaway from the first leg was that these teams are just classes apart, right? PSG are just on another level than this Liverpool team, home or away, on a neutral, doesn't matter. And I just don't think Liverpool can create enough. I don't think PSG are going to be scared of a place like Anfield. They've come to these places before. Yes, different iterations of PSG we have seen struggle in England on the road. I'm thinking of Newcastle specifically. But at this stage of the competition, as the title holders, with everything they've gone through over the last year, I just think they're going to be too locked in to be scared of that, especially with how Liverpool are playing right now. I appreciate Liverpool won with a clean sheet at Anfield over the weekend, but that was against Fulham. Okay. This is a different animal. And with Liverpool having to come out, I just think they could get picked off even worse here. But I've decided to fade Liverpool in a different way because PSG don't need to win the match. I do think they probably will, but because they don't need to, I'm kind of leaving the sides alone and fading Liverpool in a different way. That shot data is worrying for me. I know they were on the road, but I'm actually going to take, you see on the cards here, on the graphics on our screen, if you're watching the video of this, Liverpool team total over 1.5 is minus 125. The opposite of that, Liverpool team total under 1.5 is minus 110. That's what I'm going to take, Dev. I don't think Liverpool score twice in this one, if they score at all. But I'm not bullish enough to take, a win to nil angle for PSG or anything. So Liverpool team total under 1.5 at minus 110.
Yeah, Jordan, I like it. I think that's a really wise bet. We've seen Liverpool be pretty blunt in attack. I mean, Mo Salah not getting on in the first leg was questionable. And I wonder if Slot is just throwing stuff against the wall at this point. Yes, they picked up a win this weekend in the EPL, but they just haven't been convincing almost anywhere. And look, that one, they were up 2-0 at halftime against Fulham. Maybe they'll take heart in that and say, look, we could go up 2-0 against PSG. We're right back in the tie level at home. Anfield is a tough place to go. PSG did it last season, right? These two teams met in the round prior to this last season, and PSG ended up getting the win at Anfield on a 1-0 to tie it on aggregate. All three of these games, last season's two ties and this season's first leg, have gone under 2.5, which I thought was pretty interesting. It feels due for some goals. Now, I'm not going to play it because I think 3.25 is too high. I was on last week, PSG on the money line and over 2.5 in the game, and let's just say it was infuriating that we did not get that third goal. That was a tough one. But look, I look at the prices here and the line move. So PSG at home last week, it was a 3/4 of a goal favorite. Now that they're on the road, it's lined as a pick. Yes, they have the 2-goal advantage, so that plays into it a little bit. But I don't think Liverpool should be getting a three-quarter of a goal swing just for being at home here with the game state. That doesn't make sense to me. So I think there's really good value on PSG as a pick on that Asian handicap, minus 103. Look, if the game ends in a draw, you get your money back. And if PSG win, which I think they can, as you laid out, they're just the better team, almost position for position. I don't think you take a single, we could maybe do this exercise, but would you take a single Liverpool player in a combined 11?
Yeah, I think I'd still probably have Van Dijk over either PSG center back in a vacuum,
Yeah.
But I appreciate your point for sure.
Yeah, I just think that talent-wise, especially in the front six, the attack and the midfield of PSG are just, when they're on, man, they are something to watch. They are a lot of fun. So I think they could easily just win this game again. Liverpool, good win on the weekend, but Slot seat's getting hot. Maybe they start the kid. Maybe they start this Rio and Gamoa. He had a great goal against Fulham this weekend. And PSG, of course, didn't play because the French league was like, we will give you time to rest, haha. And they are off this week, or we're off this weekend. They can rest up only this game to focus on.
Yeah, indeed, Dev. I'm just thinking about it still, about the combined 11. I probably would have Allison
Okay,
as well,
Allison.
but he still won't be available for this one, I don't believe. So that's neither here nor there. Listen, if you guys are tuning in live, we can see some of you here. Let us know what you're taking for these second legs. They're trickier, maybe in some cases, than we'd think. And even if you're not live with us and you're listening to this or viewing it after the fact, leave it in the comments. Let us know what you're taking for these, because there's some interesting ties.
Yes, there are. Jordan, that's going to do it for Tuesday. So let's move on to Wednesday's matchups, Jordan. We'll start with what I think is maybe the less interesting tie. It's the Arsenal hosting Sporting Club de Portugal. And this one sees Arsenal as home favorites of 1.25 goals, and the total is set at 2.75. Jordan, if it wasn't for David Raya in that first leg, Arsenal could have at least conceded in that match, but they held on. They hung tough. Arteta was hiding with his hostages with his gun to their head. And in the end, he pulled the trigger, and Kai Havertz was able to convert and win 1-0. It's a good result for them. It's not pretty when Arsenal's doing almost anything these days, but they at least got it done in that first leg, and sets up really nicely for them at home here, George. So what do you think about this one?
First, I'd like to apologize as the graphics creator for putting the team crests on the wrong side of the card. It is
that's going to drive you nuts.
It already has.
Yeah, I could see you fuming.
Yeah. So Arsenal, very much the home team here. Those numbers that you see underneath Sporting's badge there are the Arsenal numbers. So, yeah, Dev, look, Kai Havertz, big players score big goals in big games. The guy, whatever you think of him, is a clutch player, and they have missed him. And not that he was able to do much for them over the weekend in the EPL. But look, yeah, I think that late goal that Havertz scored when Arsenal were very much up against it for the majority of the match and Sporting were the better side, huge psychological blow for Sporting coming into this one now, right? The last time we saw Sporting on the road, they were getting trucked 3-0 in this competition. 3-0 to Bodo Glimt. And then incredible that they were able to overturn that in Portugal. But the in Portugal part has already happened here, and they lost. Now they have to overturn a deficit in London. That's a big ask, Dev. But I think they'll be encouraged that they were the better team in the first leg. And if they do more of the same, they can put Arsenal up against it again. Maybe Raya won't be as good. Maybe Arsenal's confidence is just getting weaker and weaker with these results that are piling up either side of the first leg of this. So, yeah, I think that the ethos doesn't change for Sporting. They'll still have a go here. I don't think they need to go crazy like gung-ho right away. It's only 1-0. And yeah, they don't need to overexpose themselves early. But I do think they can find the net here. I expect Arsenal can as well. We're seeing on the graphics here, both teams to score yes at -106. If you shop around, you can find that around even money. That's the price I got it at. I played the same bet last week in the first leg. Obviously didn't come through with the 1-0, but I'm going to run it back here at even money, my favorite price. Both teams to score yes. I think we can see it.
Yeah, makes me a little bit nervous, Jordan. I mean, Sporting will be without Luis Javier Suarez for this one. He's suspended now from yellow card accumulation. Arsenal, man, we'll save this for the weekend show, which is a good time to plug. Our weekend show, we do our domestic leagues, the EPL, Bundesliga, La Liga. We do that live on Thursdays, so check it out if you're new. Yeah, because that EPL title race is something now. It's really exciting that Arsenal lost again. And I wasn't totally convinced of them in this first leg against Sporting. I think you're right. if not for Raya, this could be different. And I struggled a little bit with this one. This was a tough one, but I just feel like I've seen it so many times. Arsenal look shaky on the road, come back home and just get the job done. It's like a 1-0, 2-0 victory, and they walk off, and you say, what were you worried about? So I'm going to go with Arsenal to win the game, but the moneyline price is minus 209. I'm definitely not playing them to win by more than a goal here on the Asian handicap. A goal and a quarter, that's too much for me. So I'm going to tack on under 3.5 goals in the match. Look, Arsenal's defense is still really stingy, even though they can be, their overall form has been a little shaky. Their injuries are piling up in the front line. They look just not threatening except from set pieces. And in this competition in Europe, we've seen that it's kind of up to the referee how he's going to police these free kicks and corners, and Arsenal just mobbing people in the box. It's kind of a toss-up. It's more strict than the EPL for sure. So that's the set pieces have been their best way of scoring. And if they're sort of unable to do the tactics that they've done, will they continue with success? I don't know. But they're at home here. They are probably the better team. And with Sporting missing their striker here, Luis Suarez, then I'm happy to go with Arsenal to win the game, but to get it on side parlayed with under 3.5 goals. Comes in at plus 110.
Right on, Deb. So we're looking for a very specific middle for the podcast here. We need 2-1 to the Arsenal to cash both of our plays.
Could happen. Could happen.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, Jordan, we got one match left, and to be honest, I think it's the best one. So let's take a look at Bayern Munich hosting Real Madrid. This one sees Bayern as home favorites of a full goal, -1. Total is set at 3.75. Wow, that's a big total. And Jordan, of course, it was 2-1. Bayern Munich in the first leg. Incredibly entertaining for the neutral to watch. That was a fantastic match. And now Bayern, major odds-on favorites here to advance, but it's only a 1-goal lead. This is Real Madrid in the Champions League, right? I mean, feels like we're getting ahead of ourselves. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, we'd less be getting ahead of ourselves if the second leg here were in Madrid, right? It's just that Bayern are so imperious at home, especially in this competition. Well, really in all competitions, and they already have the lead. So, I mean, that's what's baked into that -1,000 for Bayern to advance. But I agree. Obviously, this was the most entertaining tie, or the most entertaining leg in the first legs. Certainly the second half. Maybe the first half wasn't quite so much, but that second half was just insane. And Manuel Neuer just turning the clock back to win man of the match, making 9 saves, and some of them just astonishing saves. I didn't know he still had it in his locker, Dev. And I'm not sure that he has it in his locker to do it twice in the span of 14 days. I don't think he does. I'm not sure we get that same kind of performance from him. I think Real Madrid might have a little more joy in terms of getting on the score sheet than they did in the first leg. Because it was not for lack of trying. They had so many chances, and most of that was without Bayern making mistakes. There were a couple, but the majority was just good play from Real Madrid. Now, they were behind, so maybe Bayern took their foot off the gas a little bit, knowing that they get to come back to this second leg at home. But I get why the total has moved up a tick here, over 3.75 now, if you want the over. So could there be 4 goals in this? Sure. We saw 3 in the first leg when things started an even game state. Now we're in an uneven game state with Real Madrid and the Champions League juggernauts chasing. So this is another one where I'm going to run back my play from the first round, which the first leg was I took Real Madrid's team total over 1.5, and that one was at even money there at the Bernabeu. I'm going to run it back here again, Dev. I don't think Neuer has as good of a day, and I think Mbappe takes a couple more of his chances. He had so many gilt-edged chances that you would expect him to put away. But again, credit to Neuer. I don't think he does it again, though. I think we see a couple of goals for Madrid, and at plus 120, I'm willing to run it back. So that's my first play for this. And the second one is that I'm going to take Mbappe to score. I think at plus 118, that's fair enough. I will take that. He might get a couple in this, Dev, and I'll leave you to talk about that.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one in terms of where the lines are. It's just the pricing. The bookies are begging you to bet Real Madrid here in every direction. So that feels a little trappy to me. It's a little bit scary. But if you watch the first leg, I mean, it was insane. We had, let's see, we had combined over 5.12 XG between the teams. 20 shots for each team, 9 on target for Madrid, 8 on target for Bayern. I mean, God, what a game. And Mbappe could have scored a couple. Vinny had chances. And one of the big players for me that came on in that match was Jude Bellingham. When he did come on in the second half, it seemed like Real got much more into the game, much more control of midfield, and just his athleticism, like carrying progressively through the middle of the pitch, seemed to really lift them and created a lot of chances. And we said it last week, Madrid in a counter-attacking style of game where they're not going to have majority possession just suits them so well with Mbappe and Vinny. Those guys, so much pace up top. And you mentioned you're going to take Mbappe to score. I said last week I thought he could score, though I didn't make it my official play. I'm not going to mess that up again, Jordan, because I'm going to go even further here because I think this is a great price. Mbappe to score multiple goals, to score 2 or more, is plus 650. Boy, almost 7-1 for this guy to score twice. He has 14 goals in 10 Champions League matches this season. He is the current highest goal scorer. And look, he's done it. He's scored multiple times in multiple games in the Champions League this year, as well as La Liga. So, I mean, the guy could easily get 2. He's at the same price as Luis Diaz to score twice. He's a worse price than Nicholas Jackson, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's so weird.
That's what I'm talking about with the bookies. I'm like, where do you guys... Why is Madrid this much of a dog? I don't like Real Madrid at all. I want to see Bayern go through. I'm sick of Madrid pulling out their magic in this competition, so I want to see them lose, but I don't see how you can bet Bayern. All the prices are just too much. And Bayern give up chances. We saw it in the first leg. We're going to see it in this one. There's going to be chances. So, yeah, Mbappe, let's take a big swing here. Let's go with the 2+ goals, plus 650. And the other guy I mentioned, Jude Bellingham. Really liked the way he played when he came on. Hopefully he starts this one. He did get a start at the weekend in La Liga. So I'm going to take him to have a shot on target at even money. Doesn't have to score, just has to let one fly. He's done this in 24 of 29 matches in La Liga and UCL combined this season. So that's an 83% shot on target rate for Bellingham when he does play. And yeah, I mean, I think that Madrid to advance plus 600 is a little bit tempting to sprinkle on as well. I mean, Bayern are special. I said it last week. I think they're possibly historically a great team. I mean, I have to tell this stat because this is so insane. They are top of the Bundesliga. They have 76 points. Very high number for a league with only 18 teams. And they have a plus 78 goal differential. Their goal differential is higher than their point total. That is insane to me. This team is just, they're that good. But Madrid have the magic on their side, so can they pull something out? I don't know, but I'm just sticking with the player props for this one, Jordan. I'm scared of the total. It's too high. I'm scared of the spread, although the value's all on Madrid +1. But I just don't want to take them, you know?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough, Dev. I think it's wise to stick with the players. Look, Mbappe, we know, has scored a hat trick in a World Cup final. Still lost. So he could certainly do it, and Madrid don't advance or don't even win the second leg. So I think that's wise. And I agree with you. That price is too big for Mbappe to score twice. I bet it myself as well, Dev. We are simpatico there, but I only did it for a half a unit. So here on this show, if you're new to the show, we only do 1 unit plays. Anything official is a full unit. So yeah, that's a reason to join the Discord. Just jump in. It's free to join. There's an invite link in the description wherever you're hearing this content. And yeah, come in there for more plays from ourselves and from our community. I posed a question in the chat, Dev. I'll show it here on the screen. Can Madrid advance at plus 600?
It's a great price.
Aaron DeSantis says no. No, and then adds F Madrid. So, yeah, but as Dev said, he doesn't want them to advance. That doesn't necessarily mean they won't.
I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them in this competition. And I like this Bayern team. They're fun to watch, but I could see them blowing it. They do not have a good record against Real Madrid. I think they have like 1 win in 9 meetings, and it was this week. So history's not on their side for that one, Jord. But
No,
look,
indeed.
that's going to do it for us. That's all of our matches. Thank you guys for jumping in to the chat. Thank you for watching live. If you don't mind, you can leave a like, a subscribe, a follow, all those things wherever you're watching this, particularly on YouTube, trying to grow that. If you can subscribe for us, it's not a money thing. You just hit subscribe and you'll probably never see us again, because that's how algorithms work. But we do appreciate you guys. And Jord, before we get out of here, there's something we got to do.
We do indeed, Dev, because it's one thing to talk about these matches, and it's quite another to put our money where our mouths are and pay the bookie.
Chuck, I'm going to tell you something. You have that fucking 200 in my hands tomorrow. If you ain't got the 200 in my fucking hands tomorrow, I'll break every fucking bone in your body.
Well, the scary bookie speaks, and we throw our official plays on the screen, and we'll read them out for the podcast listeners. Jord, I'm on the over 3.5 for Atleti and Barcelona, minus 110. PSG as a pick on the Asian handicap, minus 103. Arsenal on the money line, parlayed with under 3.5 goals in the match, plus 120. Jude Bellingham to record a shot on target at even money. Kylian Mbappe to score twice or more, plus 650. And Jordan, you mentioned you put a half unit on that yourself. Look, I'm just going to take a swing. I'm going to throw the full unit on it for the show. So why not? What's the worst that could happen? It loses? Come on.
Yeah, exactly, Dev. I've gone with Barcelona on the money line, minus 125. I'm taking Liverpool's team total to go under 1.5 at minus 110. In Arsenal and Sporting Clube de Portugal, I'm taking both teams to score. Yes, running it back, even money this time. Real Madrid's team total over 1.5 at plus 120, and Kylian Mbappe just to score 1 goal at plus 118. And listen, as we kill this show off here now, guys, we've come to the tail end. If you are still with us in the chat, leave us your best bet for this round. Just throw it in the chat there. What is your best bet for these second legs? We've got Andrew in the chat giving us a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause as well, Andrew. Thank you for that. But yeah, Deb, I'm looking forward to this. We've got a little break after this from the Champs League, but then we've got some tasty stuff happening this weekend that we'll be covering on our Thursday show. Most importantly, Arsenal's trip to the Etihad. Can't wait
Huge.
to discuss that one.
6-pointer. Can't wait. Yeah, which of these you looking forward to most here, Jord? These second legs.
It's got to be Bayern Madrid, right? If we can get anything resembling that second half from the first leg, I will be happy, especially if I cash a bet in the process. And other than that, I think Atleti Barca might be, the most interesting.
Spicy.
Yeah, for sure. Because I just don't see Liverpool doing anything. Like, I know it's, at Anfield, but I just think they're just cooked. They just don't have it anymore.
Yeah, they've had just such a weird season, and yeah, they've got some work to do in the offseason. But look, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, subscribing, rating, and reviewing. All of the things help. We appreciate you. And Jordan, any last words for the people?
Please bet responsibly. If you do have bets, I'm not seeing any best bets coming in from the audience, so maybe they are betting responsibly. Maybe they don't know what to take for these second legs. That's a good sign. Manage those bankrolls. Only bet what you can afford to lose, because we still got plenty of soccer as we build up to the World Cup here in the US of A and Mexico and Canada starting in June, late June there. So looking forward to that. Manage those bankrolls up until then, and hopefully in the interim, we can make some money.
Let's make some money.
Martial.